on Saturday at Silverstone. Formula 3 rules state that there are 2 qualifying sessions, and they are vital to decide the starting grid, which has a staggered 2x2 basis for the 25-lap race. Rees, with a year's Formula 3 experience behind him and always very well regarded in his second year in any Formula, was right on the pace, right from the word go, and he put the car fastest at the end of the first session. With bags of experience from Formula Ford and Formula Vauxhall Lotus, Lakin is another driver well regarded, perhaps to take the 1994 championship crown. He was certainly pressing on in practice, using the grass and using the curbs at time in his efforts to get onto the front row of the grid. And his efforts worked as well. Lakin was quickest towards the end of the session, although sadly for him, Dario Franchitti came along and went that little bit faster. That demoted Lakin to second on the starting grid, and that meant that a good start was going to be vital in order to get him into the lead as they approached Cox Corner on the opening lap. Lakin was happy though to be second fastest, unlike Chris Clark, who had a big spin towards the end of the session. With Franchitti and Lakin first and second, what did Scott think about the race? Franchitti had been quickest in testing at Silverstone earlier in the week, and was therefore hoping to convert that quick testing time into pole position. He did, after a long battle with Scott Lakin and Gareth Rees. The Dallara once again proving to be the class of the field, and Franchitti, who dipped his toe into the Formula 3 water at the end of last year, is putting all that experience to good use and going very quickly indeed. The Scotsman with the Italian-sounding name, who won last year's Formula Vauxhall Lotus Championship, is hoping to repeat his championship success in Formula 3. With advice coming from Jackie and Paul Stewart, Franchitti certainly has good teachers. So let's have a look at the grid ready for this all-important opening round. Franchitti on pole, a 55.31 second lap, and he lines up ahead of Scott Lakin on the staggered grid. PSR versus Intersport Racing on the first 2 positions. Gareth Rees, fastest in session 1, lines up third with the Alan Docking Racing Dallara Mugen. Fourth on the grid, the second of the PSR Dallaras, that of Danish driver Jan Magnussen. He missed the second session after that shunt, while Dino Morelli lines up fifth with the P1 Engineering Dallara Fiat. Sixth on the grid is Steve Arnold, the man that brought Dallaras into the British Formula 3 Championship, the 23-year-old driver from Stroud, hoping for that elusive first victory. While seventh on the grid is Marcos Gueiros, a former Brazilian and Sudam Formula 3 champion with the Edenbridge Racing run Dallara Vauxhall. Vincent Rademacher drives for West Surrey Racing, the team that took Ayrton Senna to the championship in 1983. He drives a Dallara Mugen, as does Jeremy Dufour, switching away from WSR to Fortec Motorsport for 1994. He lines up 9th, while 10th on the grid is the Brazilian Luis Garcia Jr. He now lives in Cambridge. He drives the second Dallara Vauxhall from Edenbridge Racing. No this though, the red lights come on then. Away they go, a very good start by Franchitti, but the black and white car of Scott Lakin is very rapidly away as well. They go down towards Cox for the first time. Franchitti it is who pulls across with Lakin's Dallara Mugen in second place, or is it because Gareth Rees there on the inside trying to find a way through into second as they turn through the right-hander. Accelerating away now, out of Cox. Franchitti in the lead, the pack squabbling behind him, through Maggots, then up to Beckett's. It's virtually 3 abreast for second place. Jan Magnussen has it at the moment though. Rees in third, fourth is Scott Lakin, so after that very good start, he's really been pushed out a little bit, and someone off there, that's Jeremy Cottrell going off in a big way. Jeremy Cottrell spins off at Beckett's. He should be able to rejoin, but it may have damaged the rod a little bit. Vincent Rademacher there, trying to go through on the inside of Dino Morelli, while round on the outside, attempting to come Luis Garcia. It's all action here at Silverstone as they turn into Luffield 2, and then the long right-hander of Woodcote. End of lap 1, it's Franchitti from Magnussen. The 2 teammates are first and second. Across the line, now up into third place is Lakin, and there in fourth as they go through is Gareth Rees. Fifth is Steve Arnold, there sixth is Morelli, seventh is Rademacher, the rest of the field all filing through, and they're moving up on the inside is number 36, and then set it up for the left-hander of Brooklands, and Lakin challenging Magnussen, he's going through on the inside, up into second place goes the Ashby driver Scott Lakin, and down to third goes ex-Formula 4 Festival winner Jan Magnussen. Now don't forget, Magnussen had a frightening accident in the first qualifying session that may have hurt him and his confidence somewhat, and he's dropped down from second to third place. So can Gareth Rees, who's fourth at the moment, catch the day? Dallara, but not really able to get onto the tail now of Gareth Rees. There's Lakin in second place. He's trying to pull clear of Magnussen, and at the same time, he's now trying to mount an attack on race leader Dario Franchitti. Those opening couple of laps with all the battling going on have allowed the Scotsman to pull away a little bit, and that gap is going to be critical as the race wears on. 25 laps of the national circuit, a very long and gruelling race for Formula 3 cars. But there's a scrap shaping up now. The red and white Dallara of Vincent Rademacher, the Belgian driver, is starting to close on Dino Morelli, the Northern Irishman, as they go down in towards Copse. Meantime, Gareth Rees is also closing up to Jan Magnussen, so there could well be a change for third place before too long, and there could well be a change for sixth as well. That's the Morelli-Rademacher battle, and this is the leader, Dario Franchitti. Legged with a very cockney accent, that's Magnussen. Here they come, down into Brooklands, but still Jan Magnussen keeps that third place for the time being at least. Into the two elements of Luffield. The leaders powering away now in towards Woodcote, and there's the scrap for third place. Magnussen versus Rees. They both run wide up onto the concrete. Somebody else off, that's Warren Hughes. Well, it's a very bad race so far for the Rolt 94Cs because both of them have had moments. Warren Hughes rejoins, but again there may well be a little bit of damage to the car. Here's the scrap for sixth now. Morelli versus Rademacher. Closes right up to Morelli as they turn through Beckett's, and now they accelerate away down the club straight. Rademacher now trying to get in position, perhaps to try and outbrake him at the end of the club straight, and that's what Rees wants to do to Magnussen. He had a think about it, tucked back into the slipstream, and Rademacher challenges on the inside as they come into the braking area, but no, Morelli comes across and shuts the door very firmly in Rademacher's face. He tries again on the inside at Luffield 1, and again the door is shut. Very frustrating for Rademacher, who looks the quicker of the two, but he's being delayed now by Morelli. Irishman looks in his mirror as they come through Woodcote East, like Rademacher, frustrated that he's being held up. The battle for third rages on. Who'll come out on top? Join us after the break and find out who's braking for Brooklands. Morelli not really giving him enough room. Now into Luffield. The two right-handers. A short burst of speed between the two. And through Copse Corner comes the race leader, Dario Franchitti. He started on pole. He's making this look very easy indeed. Look at this intense scrap now for third place. Magnussen has it at the moment. Rees challenges on the outside, swings the car tight through the corner now, and he's looking to try and get alongside as they go down the straight, but he still can't do it. He stays in the slipstream of Magnussen. He pulls out the two cars virtually side by side as they head down towards the kink. On the inside for the left-hander of Brooklands is Magnussen. On the outside is Gareth Rees, and Jan Magnussen keeps that third place, but will he run wide? He gets sideways. That offers Rees another chance to go through, but the Bath driver still can't quite find that gap. Jan Magnussen, despite all this pressure, is managing to hang on to third place, and here they come through Woodcote Corner up to the end of the lap towards Copse. Dallara's first, second, third and fourth at the moment. Bodywork flying off a car there, a little bit of bodywork flew across the road. Now let's see whose that was. It looked dark in colour. It was Morelli's front fin of the nose cone. Morelli has made contact with Rademacher, who's moved through up into that sixth place. Morelli runs wide, because without that nose cone, or at least without half of it, the aerodynamics are all upset, the balance is all upset. Leaders coming down into Brooklands, still third is Magnussen, still fourth is Rees, and they're being caught by that man, Steve Arnold, who is fifth with his Dallara. The Dallara Mugen off Arnold, turning there in fifth place is Stephen Arnold, and the new sixth place man is Vincent Rademacher, who turns now through Woodcote Corner. But because of all the time he'd spent boxed in behind Dino Morelli, Rademacher is a little bit too far back at the moment to challenge. There is Morelli, he's heading for the pits by the look of it. The P1 engineering car, without its vital front aerodynamics, is heading for the pits, and this is going to be a long stop, I should think. Bitter gall indeed for Dino Morelli, who brings the Dallara with the Fiat engine into the pits, and into the gravel trap goes Chris Clark. He had a spin in practice, and he's gone straight on at the end of the club straight in the race down to Mazarakis. And there's Gareth Rees turning through the right-hander of Copse, still on the tail of Jan Magnussen. He's tried to get past in the pass, he still can't find that gap. Franchitti finds a gap on the inside of the back marker Dawson and laps him with no problems. Copse, there's number 6, that's Luis Garcia Jr., the ex-Brazilian Formula 3 champion, looking for a way around on the outside of the rejuvenated Dino Morelli, who's back in the race after that new nose cone was put on. There's Franchitti, out of Luffield 2, up through the gears now, accelerating across the start and finish line. Magnussen being caught by Rees, being caught by Arnold, being caught by Rademacher. Scott Lakin laps the back marker now as they turn through Maggots and head up once more towards the tight Beckett's hairpin, the right-hander. There in third is Magnussen, still fourth Rees, fifth Arnold, and there in sixth, an incredible drive from Vincent Rademacher. It's incredible because all that time he'd lost, while boxed in behind Dino Morelli, he's managed to make up again, and he's right with Arnold as they go down the club straight. Again, Magnussen sliding the car. He used to do that in karts, he used to do it in Formula 4, he continues the tradition in Formula 3. But really, he could be far more precise with one of these cars. Franchitti up front. no dramas. There's Lakin in second place. He started second on the grid. He's second as he turns through Copse. Can he close on the race leader, Dario Franchitti? They're heading now up towards the Beckett's hairpin once more. There is Franchitti, the race leader, and if he stays there, he'll get 20 points. On the inside is number 9, Christian Horner, trying to go through on the inside of Roberto Xavier, whose engine blows in a big way, and someone's collected them. That's Ivan Arias with a Renault-powered car, and he flies off into the gravel trap, into the tyre wall. Ivan Arias with a Renault Dallara is out of the race. So too is the Fiat-powered Dallara of Roberto Xavier. 12, Dino Morelli, back in the race after that new nose cone was put on, and he's about to be caught and perhaps lapped by the race leader Dario Franchitti as Rademacher challenges Steve Arnold on the inside for 5th place and can't quite do it. Almost gets his nose chopped off there as the field funneled through Brooklands. Pulled away. This, though, is what happened to Horner and to Xavier. Side by side in towards Copse. There's the smoke from the back of the Fiat engine. That's blown in a big way. Oil on the track, round and spinning off is Xavier, and Arias appears from nowhere, clobbers the Dallara Fiat, goes across the gravel trap and into the tyre wall, while Christian Horner bounces all over the grass and the gravel back onto the road to escape. No back markers separating Franchitti from second place man Lakin, so this time the Ashby driver can concentrate on closing up to the race leader, and Rademacher, who's just set the fastest lap at over 106.7 miles an hour, is catching Steve Arnold hand over fist. Now through the traffic, that's Gray Headley and Dino Morelli just being lapped, Dario Franchitti the race leader. Steve Arnold there in 5th place, and he really now is in the unenviable position of trying to pass Gareth Rees for 4th, but if he tries and it fails, the gap will be open, and Rademacher will probably get past him as well, so Arnold has to decide now whether to defend that 5th place or attack for 4th. It could go either way as far as he's concerned, as they turn through Maggots and now come up towards Beckett's. 31 is Gray Headley with his Class B car, he's being lapped, Magnussen gets past him, but the Rees, Arnold and Rademacher battle stays behind, at least as far as going through Brooklands is concerned. Dario Franchitti, who has led since the lights blinked to green, and he's made it look very easy indeed out front. Down the club straight, under the vehicle bridge, there's Dino Morelli, well down the field, race leader's pace. Dramas at Beckett's, Garcia gets clobbered by Brian Cunningham, the two cars get all crossed up. Cunningham, the American driver, goes around on the outside of Garcia, they change place. I don't really think the Edenbridge driver Garcia will be too happy about all that. This man's happy though, it's Dario Franchitti who goes on now to his penultimate lap of Silverstone's national circuit. He goes down towards Copse Corner, still clear in the lead. The lap to Morelli there, and there in second place is Scott Lakin. Third, Franchitti's teammate, and now from the long right-hander of Woodcote, up across the line and onto his last lap of Silverstone. It looks as though victory in the Spring Trophy race, the opening round of this year's British Formula 3 Championship, is going the way of Dario Franchitti, unless something befalls him on this last lap. He's halfway round it already. He's up at Beckett's. Rademacher still there in 6th place and wondering what else he needs to do to find a way up onto terms with Arnold. Surely he won't move up into 5th place now with just half a lap remaining, but it's been an inspired drive by the Belgian. Through the left-hander of Brooklands comes Dario Franchitti. He'll get 20 points for victory. He's only got Luffield and Woodcote corners to go. Through Luffield 1, now through Luffield 2, now up through the gears, back on the power, accelerating through Woodcote. The checkered flag is at the ready, and victory here at Silverstone goes to Dario Franchitti in round 1 of the British Formula 3 Championship of 1994. Scott Lakin takes second place with Jan Magnussen third, and Class B honours go to Duncan Verco. A delighted Dario Franchitti there in Parc Fermé, having won the opening round of the championship.